Yeah, man. Welcome to Wine with Dave. Oh, my room's a little brighter. I don't know if you guys like a bright room. I usually have the light off. So if anyone's here, let me know you're here because it's really important. What do I usually say? I got things all messed up. I was busy talking to my guest and I forgot to even do this. It is wine o'clock. Wine o'clock, as it says right there. And it's going to be wine o'clock for the next 60 minutes. Because I say so, because it's my show. And it's going to be wine o'clock. And if you're just tuning in, just wherever you are, type in what city, what town you are from. I am going to leave a comment because it's kind of a thing. I kind of do that. Let's see. Come on, scroll down. We are live, says me. Says Wine with Dave. And there it is, and it shows up on the screen. See that? That's how it works. If you want to be on Wine with Dave, as far as a comment, just say something. Like, for instance, Don Felisberto. Hey, Don, how's it going, my friend? It's great seeing you. I think my audio's a little loud, right? You would know more than anybody. I'm at 79. Hello from Westport, Mass. That's awesome. Westport, Mass. We were in Tiverton in Little Compton recently, so that's like kind of my other neck of the woods. I've got two necks. I've got the Warwick neck and I've got the Little Compton neck. We spend time there. But good that you're on watching. Mike England, my brother Mike England from Port Orange, FLA. Mike England was from Port Orange, FLA. Hiked his way across the USA. He was a he. Mike England. You didn't hike to Florida. You took a car to Florida. Mike left Rhode Island, Little Rhode Island, when I was a kid. I don't know how old I was, 13, 12. He went to Florida. I don't know. I don't think you hiked. You got to tell me if you hiked. Parsec Systems, only in Foxborough. Hello, Mr. Tom Lapolito. Yeah, just put in your name. You don't have to put in your name. I know who you are. But just type in the town you're from. Great seeing you, Mr. Lapolito. Tom Lapolito, Wop Bam Boom, Tutti Frutti. We lost the great one, Tom. We lost Little Richard, as we all know. You know who turned me on to Little Richard? Oddly enough, Mike England, my brother. He was big on Little Richard in Zeppelin and the Allmans. You turned me on to a lot of stuff, Mike. I don't know if I've ever told you that. But I remember you were really, really into Little Richard. And I'm like, this is some old guy from the 50s. And then I started listening. And it was exciting. It was rock and roll. I mean, it had all the punches and the stabs and the dun 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 dun. You know, it was great. Great piano playing. I wasn't an Elvis fan. But man, Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, that stuff rocked. Rick Greenwood, Tequila Tuesday. You got it, baby. Hey, do you guys like the new bright look? Or should I turn the lights off so you can see the white glow and the orange glow? Let me know. Really interested. If you are tuning in for the first time, make sure you like the page. I am Dave England. I bring the Dave, you bring the wine. Look, it is wine o'clock. I'm all over the place. I hope you like my little ticker tape in the countdown. We had some birthdays today. Carl DeLuca is a birthday today. The Carl DeLuca Esquire, he's an attorney. I don't know how old he is. And Jason Oliver, who is super creative dude, working at Hasbro, involved in some top secret stuff all the time. I don't think he can even tell me what he's working on, but that's cool. And who else? Someone else's birthday. Jennifer Wieland. She's got her own little live show going on talking about CBD oil and stuff. So maybe they're looking. Yeah, you like the new look? You like the wood? You like the wood panel? So I'm thinking of keeping it because otherwise, if I take it down, it just feels a little empty. So I'll keep it. All right. It's wine o'clock. This is episode 39, folks. First time here. Like the page. And thanks everybody for going on and filling out the survey. If you're a loyal listener or your first time here, well, really your second time here because you would have already seen an episode, go down below this post and you'll see, hey, I need help. I think it says that. I need help. Don't go now, but just click it later. And there are no commercials, so you can't do it during the commercial. I should have a commercial break. But go down there and just fill out the form. I got 21 people responded, and it was very interesting, the feedback I got. Very, very interesting. And actually, right now, what I'm doing right now is the least favorite part of the whole show. You guys don't like me doing this stuff. You just want to get on with the other stuff. The other stuff was like, don't take that other stuff out. That's important. And I typed in, what about the first segment? Dave just shares his day. They're all like, whatever. So we'll get on with it. We're going to get on with the new segment. The next segment happens to be, Did You Know? We all love Did You Know? All right. Can you hear Did You Know? Can you hear the music? I didn't do a test. I should have done a test. Yeah, I think it's coming through. All right, you guys ready for Did You Know? On average, and this is the interactive one. I do 4 interactives. On average, 22% of all restaurant meals include what? What food do they include? On average, 22% of all restaurants include this. Just type in restaurant and then what you think they include. And you can't say salt and pepper because that's like 100% of the restaurants. All right, so think about that one. The most popular toothbrush color is blue. I don't know if you knew that. Blue is the most popular color of a toothbrush. It is the universal color, by the way, in packaging, if you want to attract men and women. Blue is just, it's it, out of the gate. Little side note. The U.S. produces 19% of the world's trash. Wow, that's a lot. 20% of the garbage is us. Here's the next one, you ready? What percentage of people say that they are average looking? What percentage of people say that they're average looking? So just say average or average looking and then percentage. If you don't put that word, I get lost. I don't know. You know, like if you wanted to put in like sugar was what 22% of restaurants include. And then I think you're answering another question. It's confusing. You know what it is. Okay, ready for that? So what percentage of people in the world say that they're average looking? 53% of women don't leave home without makeup on. 53. 44% of people have a broken bone. Do you have a broken bone? Rich Austin is in the green room right now. Rich, no one can hear him but me. Rich, do you have a broken bone? I don't know if he has a broken... He could actually comment right now if he wanted to. I don't have a broken bone. I've never broken a bone. Not currently. See, I'm so glad he's on tonight. He's super witty. Yeah, break a leg, Rich. Break a leg tonight. 21% of people don't make their bed in the morning. 21%. Here's another one. Here's the third interactive. The TV sitcom Seinfeld wasn't always called Seinfeld. What was it originally going to be called? And it's not Costanza or Costanza. Did you know the first James Bond movie was called Dr. No? That's right. And clinophobia. Do you know what clinophobia is? Anybody have clinophobia? Clinophobia is the fear of going to bed. So at the very end of the show, what do I say? I got to get you kids to bed. So none of that clinophobia. So if you have little kids, you should teach them, educate these kids. Don't just yell at them. Use big words. They'll ask you, what does that mean? And they'll know it for life. If little Timmy or little Sally won't go to bed or they're afraid, just say, oh, come on, cut the clinophobia crap. You got to educate these kids. Did you know that police dogs are trained to respond to commands in foreign languages like German and Hungarian? I don't know if you knew that. Did you also know that the black box that's on airplanes that holds the airplane voice recorder is actually orange? It's not black. It's never been black. It's orange so they can easily detect it amid the debris of a plane crash. So I don't know why they don't call it an orange box, but it's called the black box. Maybe it was originally a black box. Did you know that the human eye can detect more shades of green than any other color? There are a lot of shades of green that you can see, my friend. So, just thought you'd know that. And here's the fourth and last interactive. So write this one down, okay? The Statue of Liberty's mouth is how wide? How wide is her mouth? Jellyfish don't have a brain. Thought you'd like to know that one. All right, we ready? Ready to tally it up? We're going to tally these up. Let's tally them up. Let's go up. Let's go to the top. Rich Austin did not currently. I didn't break a bone currently. A good opening monologue is always fun. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Rich Austin said bread. 22% of restaurant meals include bread. Possex System says bread. Rick Greenwood, what does he say? French fries. You were all wrong. You know, it is potato chips. 22% of all restaurants, potato chips. What percentage of people think they are average looking? Let's see. Rich Austin thinks 70%. Wow. Tom Lapolito, 20%. Of the 20%, how much is organic? Oh, see, you're throwing me. I have to look at all the questions and I'm wasting time. Rick Greenwood, the average Joe, 10%. And that's it for that. And actually, you know what it is? It's 59%. 59% of the people think they're average. 60%. 40% of the people you meet think they're not average looking. The TV sitcom. What do you think of that? The TV sitcom Seinfeld. Let me go down here. Tom Lapolito thinks the original name for Seinfeld was Wine with Seinfeld. Where's my bass guitar? No, it wasn't that. Jerry's Joint. Nope. Nope, it wasn't. You know what it's called? The Seinfeld Chronicles. Okay, and lastly, the Statue of Liberty's mouth is... Did anyone win? Did anyone win? Rich Austin, I thought it was being afraid of cowboys. Oh, yeah, that was the other clinophobia. Rick Greenwood says the black box is racist. Statue of Liberty, 50 feet. No, actually not, because it would be a monster of a statue. It's actually 3 feet wide. Is that crazy? Your floor to your average door handle is 3 feet. That's the width of her mouth. Doesn't that seem small? Anyway, I'm going to get on. It's already 9:13. We're moving things along. Why is there a paper airplane there? Do you want to know why? Because today is National Paper Airplane Day. I know you were wondering, why would he put an animated GIF of a plane? The earliest known date of the creation of the modern paper plane was said to have been in 1909. The largest paper aircraft had a wingspan of 59 feet. Students and employees made it in Germany on September 28, 2013. Another interesting fact, the distance record for a paper airplane, 226 feet, 10 inches, was set by Joe Ayoub with a plane in February of 2012. These are all recent. The record time for the longest lasting paper airplane flight is 29.2 seconds. There's more than one way to fold a paper airplane, and I want to show you something that I think is fascinating. and to the point where I am actually going to show you on the screen. Look at that. Go here. Can you see it? It's covering. The thing is covering it. It's called Fold and Fly. Fold and Fly, and it automatically adds that hashtag 11111. Just go to Fold and Fly. Folks, there are all kinds of paper airplanes here. It's crazy. You can get rid of decorative. See, I'm getting rid of all this, and I'm just saying distance. I just want the ones with distance. And it just shows you all the ones for distance. This is cool. I was a big paper airplane kid when I was young. So it's National Paper Airplane Day. Go to Fold and Fly. Fold and Fly. Not Fold and Fly. So tomorrow night is really good. I've been meeting a lot of people on Instagram. Oh, man. Coming up, I've got a company that's in Iceland, Blue Lagoon. They actually run the Blue Lagoon, which that blue water, 98 degrees, geothermal, natural spa that I was in with my cousin. It was unbelievable. It was like 9 at night and it was sunny. It was weird. And it was snowing and it was sunny. But it was 42 degrees out. So it was kind of warm. But it was 98 degrees. And you reach down in the water and you pull up this white silica mud, rub it on your face and 18 different properties, and it tightens your skin. Oh my gosh. We loved it. Well, on a whim, I just said, I'm going to follow them on Instagram. I did. BlueLagoon.is. I followed them, and I said, what the heck? I shot them an email through Instagram. I said, hey, I got this show, Wine with Dave. It'd be great to have you on. They responded. They're really interested. So they're going to come on, which is really cool. I get to help them, educate all you guys out there about them. So maybe you'll go out there and they'll thank me for it. So I don't know. I also inboxed Bjork. That's a long shot. But I got some cool people coming up. I'm this close to having the writer on SNL show up. I think he said yes, but we just got to pick a date. So that's going to be good. He worked with Chris Farley and John Lovitz and Hartman and all those guys. So anyway, tomorrow night I'm bringing the Heavy Metal Thunder from Greece. These guys I met on Instagram as well. They're big. They were on tour prior to COVID-19. They are called Serpent Lord. They're going to be on tomorrow night. So excited. Tell all your metal friends. Is that the horn? I don't know how the horns are. Tonight you guys are in for a treat. Rich Austin is seriously one of the wittiest guys I know. He is witty, and you're going to see that tonight. He better bring the wit, or I'm going to break an elbow or break a bone. One of the wittiest people I know, and he helps businesses craft a story that's memorable and has a sticky factor. Check this out.
Hi, Rich Austin here with Speaking of Success. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be talking with Dave tonight on Wine with Dave. We're going to be talking about communication skills. As George Bernard Shaw once said, the single biggest problem with communication is the illusion it has occurred. And we're going to talk about how to dispel that illusion and communicate effectively so that people get your message and know what you're trying to tell them. So if you've ever had trouble getting your message across, listen with Dave and I tonight, and hopefully we can fix that. See you later, guys. See you tonight. Bye-bye.
Rich Austin, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
That's good. So no broken bones, huh?
Not today, no.
Not today. We don't plan on that. I wonder where they got that from in show business, to break a leg.
Well, I can tell you from experience, I've never planned on breaking a bone.
You never planned on. I'm so glad you're on the show. We've met years ago and networking. I don't know where we met. We met somewhere. Do you remember where?
Probably, maybe, I think it might have been Rome when we were with the Israeli Secret Service.
Yes, yes. I can bleep that out later because that can't stay on the live show. We'll move along from there. The Secret Service. Tell me about how you help businesses craft a message. And my first question here is, and I like this one, the process of communicating through graphic design, it's kind of like a language. How is that similar to communicating through just writing? Because you do a lot of writing for clients, right?
Yeah. I was actually on a Zoom networking call. I have a networking organization called Referral Exchange Networking, and all the chapters are meeting virtually now. And I was on a call, and one of our members, Carrie Corin, she's a graphic designer, Carrie Corin Design, I think it is, and she was explaining how she creates a logo.
Mm-hmm.
And it struck me that in a lot of things that she does, that's what I do. Because a logo, you want to literally paint a picture. But in a video script or in written text, you will also want to verbally create an image or verbally create a picture for the reader or the listener.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of, she uses shapes and colors and designs, and I use words, ideas, phrases, questions, that sort of thing. But we're all shooting to do the same thing, to create an image and to create a picture in the mind of the listener or the reader or the viewer.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like theater of the mind with you. You have to be a little more creative, right? Because you're using certain words that conjure up images in people.
Yeah. There's an interesting book by a gentleman, Frank Lutz, called Words That Work. And he reissues the book every several years because the modern lexicon changes. But one of the interesting things, one of the best words is the word imagine. Because if you're selling a car and you tell someone, think of yourself driving that car. Well, I don't know about you, but thinking is hard work. I don't want to work. I don't want to think. But if somebody tells me, imagine yourself driving that car,
right.
Now suddenly I'm a kid. I get to pretend, I get to imagine, I get to have fun, I get to create my own experience behind the wheel of that car by imagining myself. So just little words, little phrases can really tip the balance.
Now, this is used in a commercial or a video for a client. It's also used in copywriting, right? For a website or whatever.
Right.
That's great stuff. I love that. I just love that stuff. I eat that stuff up. And you also create video scripts. Tell me about that. So if a client's having a video, you help them with that.
Yeah. That's something that I've been doing a lot more of during the COVID-19. I've been encouraging people to reach out to not only their existing customers, but hopefully their future customers via video.
Mm-hmm.
Because statistics show you something like 82% of people would rather get their information about a business through video rather than reading a text.
Yep.
However, we've all seen a Facebook Live that the person wanders the verbal landscape for 20 minutes. And maybe they had a point somewhere in that 20 minutes. But nope, you can't find it. So videos, if you want to use it for marketing, for business purpose, it's got to be brief. I say about 2 minutes. It has to have one or two ideas. It has to be able to grab people's attention. So I make sure the first thing I do is I interview the individual, we talk about their business, we talk about what they want the message to say. And they have to nail it down to one or two things. And then I get to know them, what personal we can put in there so that, because, people buy from other people. So it has to be personal. You should tell a story, something to get people's attention. And so once I interview them, I create the script, I send it to them. Then we meet again. We've been doing that virtually. We hash it over, make any changes, and then they put it up and see what happens.
Do you find most people get it wrong when they give you a script and say, hey, I want to have a welcome video for my website. Here's my script. Do you find it's like, well, you got to throw all of it out or most of it, or are some people kind of getting better at it over time?
Well, usually people don't give me a script. They ask me for a script.
Oh, okay.
And I like to tell people that I'm not the world's best writer, but so many other people are so bad at it that it makes me look great. So it's just one of those talents that I just, happen to have. Everybody's good at something.
It's like the man, the one. What's the phrase? In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, you just have to be that one person who knows a little more. Man, this is cool stuff. The 65-38-7 public speaking rule. Explain that, because this is so true and I love it.
Yeah, I think most people have heard that. It's actually 55-38-7. And people say 55% of the communication process is through body language and facial expressions. 38% is through the tone of your voice.
Mm-hmm.
And a mere 7% are the words that you use. And when I first read that, quite a few years ago, I was amazed, and I started teaching people that. And I quickly, the shine got off that penny pretty quick when I actually did some solid thinking about it, because it didn't really make sense to me. And I read something where a gentleman said, well, let's put it this way. If I'm speaking to you and my body language and my facial expressions are perfect, and the tone of my voice is perfect, and I'm speaking Japanese, you should understand 93% of what I'm saying.
Wow, good point.
No. So I researched.
Arigato.
Yes. So I researched it, and I found out that comes from a study, UCLA, 1967, only done in women, and it was only for emotional communication, negative or positive. So if you have somebody standing in front of you crying with tears streaming down their face, you don't need to know what words they're saying. You know they're sad.
But people do buy on emotion rather than reason, right? Like they see that big TV, honey, we got to buy that. Imagine that in our living room, and they buy on emotion. So there is something to that, right? Emotional communication?
Yeah, but the 55-38-7, that makes no sense.
Oh, okay.
The words you use are critical because people pick up on words. They pick up on stories. To say that 7% is of the communication process is words, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So you work on that percent. What do you think the percentage is of words?
People have asked me that before, and I've given them answers. However, you have to understand that about 78% of statistics are made up on the spot. So I can't really tell you.
You always joke around. At least 13% of the time. Why is why is storytelling more effective than stats or facts?
Well, stats and facts are good, but they should come later.
Uh-huh.
Think about this. Mankind has been communicating verbally through language for maybe 20, 30,000 years. However, mankind has been around several, 100,000. Look at the cave paintings in France.
Mm-hmm.
They were done somewhere around 20,000 years ago. And what are they? They're stories.
Right.
And before, we've had written language for a couple thousand years. So between a couple thousand years and 20,000 years, you have that giant span of time where there was no written language. So how did people pass down information? Through storytelling.
All stories, yep.
So our brains are actually hardwired to enjoy stories and to remember more from a story. So storytelling is one of the most important facets of education because people like stories.
Mm-hmm. I personally remember a brand that tells a story. I was actually looking at a clothier's website. They're in Boston, and is it Bee and Hive, Honey and Hive or something? But it's a high-end men's clothing store. And right when you land there, it's full width video of a guy walking down the street with a beard, scruffy beard, probably like early 70s. But he looks like he's a sharp guy, like he might be a writer or an author. He opens up the door, ding, 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 goes inside. He's in the clothier's shop, and they're telling a story about him and how he feels better and he can, approach people. And it's a story about clothing and how it makes the man. I'm like, man, they get that. They told a story right when you landed on that page. I'm remembering it now, and I'm telling you about it.
Yeah.
I just can't remember the name of the website, but I almost have it. I think it's Bee and Hive or Honey and Hive. I'd easily find it. But great job. Facts tell, stories sell. I love that. That's just a cool little phrase. Storytelling. So who's the hero in the story? Is there a hero? Is there a villain? Or do you not approach it that way like the old classic? You just tell a story.
Well, yeah. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Sometimes your product will be the hero. It solves the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You start out, you have conflict, just like in any story. Somebody has a problem, they try to fix it, it doesn't work, and then you come in with your product or service and you fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And you tell that through a story, some other company, some other person that you helped. In other ways, you make the customer the hero. So every time you buy this pair of shoes, 10% I think it's Tom's shoes. Every time you buy a pair of Tom's shoes, they donate a pair of shoes.
Yep.
Somewhere in the world. So you're the hero. The person buying the shoes, you're the hero. You're the one doing something good. There's a couple of different ways that companies can approach it, and part of it is, what's their story? And they can tell it through themselves being the hero, if you will, or through the customer.
Right. That's cool. Hey, we got someone, Bill Parmentier says, howdy. And Victoria Baroka, hi, Rich.
Hello, Victoria.
Victoria, yeah, she's here listening. That's cool. Storytelling. We're talking about Rich Austin and how he helps companies tell stories or to communicate better through stories. Is there ever a time where you wouldn't tell a story? Is there a type of company that you feel like a story wouldn't help?
Huh.
Did I stump the great Rich Austin?
A certain percentage of the time that could happen. Yeah,
I broke your tongue bone
my tongue bone's been broken a long time.
a long time ago.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think I can come up with a business, if you will, that couldn't tell a story about who they are or about what they do.
My brother Steve just got on from Key West, Florida. Just got here. How are you, Steve? Talking to Rich Austin, who is a man who helps businesses communicate through telling a story. Really fascinating. Talked about the 65, 38, 7 rule, or whatever, 55 tone, and 38's the body language, and 7, but it was all emotional. What was I going to say? I was going to say something profound, but clearly I forgot what it was.
I knew.
You lost me, yeah. So what is the single most important communication tool?
Good one. It's not what people might think. The single most important communication tool is listening.
Oh.
Because I'm going to ask you, have you ever learned something while you were talking?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Yep.
What have you learned? You need to shut up? Is that it? Or
No. Well, I remember I just did this event on Zoom for 30 people, 25 people, and they were quiet when I was digging really deep. There was no questions asked, because on Zoom they can ask questions. And they were doing that earlier on, but then all the questions stopped. And I'm looking down, I'm not seeing any questions. So I'm like, oh, everyone's just listening. So I listened.
like right now?
Like right now, yeah. So I was aware that, whoa, the deeper I get, people, they don't have questions because the communication was getting a little too heavy. So I had to lighten it up. And I noticed that people were starting to ask questions. So I learned something about that. Don't go too deep, too quick.
Well, yeah, you have to know who your audience is too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking with a group of peers in a very technical engineering audience, you can probably dive down pretty deep pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about that same topic to stakeholders that are not engineers, you can't do that. But listening is the most important communication tool, because that tells you, if you do it correctly, what the person needs, what they want, how they're feeling. As George Bernard Shaw said, the single biggest problem with communication is the illusion that it has occurred.
Yeah.
And too often we just go on and we talk and, put the information out there and say, all right, great. All right, I communicated. And you might have lost them in the first 5 seconds.
Well, isn't that a lot of old school bosses? I mean, forget public speaking, but just a boss coming into a room, speaking to, a bunch of people in the shop, and he's just barking the orders and saying, we really got to da-da-da, and then he turns around and then leaves because he's kind of afraid to sit back and take a Q&A, or he's just afraid to listen.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of always been the case, but I think that's becoming less and less as the workplace becomes a lot more a lot different. There's so many different communication tools out there, and of course people can misuse them too. But
yep.
If you think you've communicated and then you've asked, one of the best ways is to ask them, what did I just say? or can you tell me what you think about what I just said?
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't do that, then you need to take a couple of steps back and say, okay, what was the last thing you understood, or what was the last thing you remember? That sort of thing.
Mm.
But you have to understand that we may think we communicated awesomely, and you didn't.
Do you ever help people that are not just public speakers, but just like a boss or a manager? Do you ever go there and help them out?
Once in a while. That's not really my my forte.
Mm-hmm.
I have tried some things that I've been very good at, and I've crashed and burned. I teach or coach public speaking as well, and I had a gentleman quite a few years ago. He was from Hong Kong, and he said, "Rich, can you help me with my accent?" Because his accent was really hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
So, not knowing, I said, "Of course." Yeah, no, that was, oh my goodness, that takes specialty. That I was totally unable to. That is something that a real speech pathologist or somebody who understands facial muscles and movements and language, that's a real science. So yeah, I tried that once, and it didn't.
And never again. Hey, let's try never. Yeah. So who are you going after? People who are communicating for a business, someone who is a representative of their business, and they're trying to get a message out to the world, kind of.
Yeah, a lot of my clients are small business people, entrepreneurs, that sort of thing, and they don't really have a lot of resources, but they have their voice.
Mm-hmm.
And through social media, they have a method. And getting noticed on social media, as you understand, is a big challenge. And if you don't do it correctly, you're just going to get lost in the noise. So
Right.
most of the people that I work with are, like I said, small business owners or entrepreneurs.
I get some pet peeves about that, if I can just share them and you just jump in. When people go live, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Can everybody hear this? Is this mic on? Am I too loud?" And I know I said that earlier tonight because I didn't do a check, but I don't hang on that. But people can hang on it, and then or maybe their phone is portrait, should be landscape, or vice versa. And that what they always do is they end up looking at themselves in the camera, so it kind of looks like this. Hi everybody, how's everyone doing? And they're like not even looking at the lens, not training themselves to really connect with people. And I shared about that maybe a month ago about Package Design Fact, where they did all these cereal boxes. Every time there's a cartoon character on a cereal box, the pupils were lower. It was looking down. It was looking down at the kids, connecting with them. So even just looking at your market, your kids, that's going to connect with them better. And there's so many people who go live and they do it wrong when it's so easy to fix it. Just to like do a Google search, how do I go live? And like you said, I mean, now with COVID-19, we got to go live to communicate.
Yeah, right. Well, one of the ways to avoid that is to practice it first and send it to yourself or to a friend, or, just don't put it out to the world. You want to make sure that you understand what you're doing. And if you watch it and it's painful, then I can guarantee nobody else is going to want to watch it.
And I think what Bill Parmentier and Justin were doing with the Marketing Essentials, they had that live. I forget what it was called. Live, the live challenge, live video challenge, and they were really trying to get people just get out there and just do it, and then we can critique later. But that was great. That was really good. Seeing people fumble their way through it, and I've seen you on a few of them.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things was I took part in the very first one, and the next time, and Bill is, I think, listening. He might respond, tell me I'm full of crap, I don't know. But the second time that they did it, they set a time limit. Because a lot of us, with the first time we did it, we didn't know what we were doing, and so we're all talking for 7, 8, 10 minutes. And Bill and crew, they weren't getting paid to watch 20 people go on for 20 minutes. They have actually jobs and business and clients.
Sure.
So the second time around, they said, hey, I think they said keep it to like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I went on once, and I was drinking wine. I think I just went on for 3 minutes, and I realized, oh, there's a time limit here. It was bad. Vicky just got on. Victoria. Rich, any advice on communication with people who have short attention spans like me?
Yeah, keep it short. Make sure that the first couple of sentences are the right sentences so that people want to listen. One of the best ways to do is ask a question. Mm-hmm. Because to ask a question, they have to respond. And if they're responding to a question, you know they're engaged. So there's different ways you can get people to stay in the conversation. But yeah, tell them what you need to tell them, quickly, concisely, and then let it go.
Get right to the point. Great. Right. Hey, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it, Rich. Lots of insight.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really had a good time.
Good. And you're drinking what?
Oh, it's a lively little number. I can tell you a lot about it. On the box, it says white.
Want to do a virtual clink?
Yes. Left to right, right to left.
It goes on your left hand because you're on the right side, so your left hand holds it. Right. And you know what? I disappeared in the feed for a second because my camera battery, I think, just died. So that's why it went, meh, and it was just you, and then it was me, and now I'm on my bad camera. It's not really bad, but so that's why. So I got to stand back because this thing gets really huge. All right, ready? Wait, I'm going to go over here. So you're going to move it to your right shoulder, and we're going to clink. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Clink. Clink. All right, yours was really big.
All right. How about this?
It never works. Let's do it the right way. Actually, pull it closer to you.
Yep.
Ready? No, get it in the frame. A little bit more to your right. All right, there. Stop right there. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There we go. Oh, yours lit up. That was cool.
Well, actually, this is a giant glass. It holds about a bottle and a half.
Yeah, I've been hearing you hiccup along the way during the interview, so there's a reason for that. Hey, thank you so much for being on. Appreciate it, my friend.
No problem. Thanks a lot.
Stay well, Rich Austin. You be good.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Here I am with a new camera angle. Hold on. Let me see. I'm still here. Hold on. What happened to this? That was weird. Never had that happen before. Although there's a first for everything. Yeah, the camera is not showing up in the feed. What happened? Let me unplug it and plug it in, right? Is that what you do? You unplug and then you plug it in. And then you see what happens. Nope, It's not showing up. All right, well, we've got this camera. But hey, I get to show you my curtain, right? Look at that. That's the famous lamp that makes me glow. Let me stand over here. That was good. Rich is a great guy. He's a great guy. And, oh, Rich, can you turn the volume down? We can all hear it. He's a great guy. I've known him for years, and yep. You guys can't hear this, but Rich, can you just turn that down? Great guy. Boy, am I discombobulated. Camera died. Stuff in the background. We shelter on and we soldier on. Hey, he was a great guy, and I've known him for years, and he knows how to communicate. He's really amazing on his feet. I mean, I've seen people throw questions at him, and he just like, boom, he just turns on the dime and answers it. Keeps people entertained. Really good. Wish him all the best of luck. So I don't know if you guys like this, the little wood panel. So you tell me if you like the wood panel. I kind of like it. It's a little... push it out of the way. If I push the panel out of the way, you see the microphone. So this way I can hide my microphone. Dave plays with apps. So here's the deal. I took Friday off, and that was great. And I needed a day off because it was fun. And Saturday and Sunday was great. Monday was Memorial Day. It was also my wife's birthday. And that was great. My daughter made an amazing video. She called a lot of relatives and said, "Can you make a video for my mommy?" And so they did, and they filmed it, and they shot to her, and she got iMovie out and did the whole thing. I mean, it was emotional. It was crazy. It was like 10 minutes of beautiful songs underneath it, and all these people coming on, just sharing with her, and she's sitting there in tears. It was pretty cool. So I had 4 days off. It was wild. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. No Wine with Dave, but I was missing it. But I did not take advantage of preparing much, so I don't have a Dave Plays with Apps. So, and I don't even know if it'll show up tonight. Maybe it will. You know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if it does. Nope, it's not going to. Maybe it will. Yeah, there it is. There it is. It shows up. Okay. Go figure. It showed up. So this is Dave Plays with Apps. It is 9:52. We have 8 minutes left, and I got to get you kids to bed, or you're going to have clinophobia. If you were here earlier, you'd know what clinophobia is. If this is your first time watching the show, please like the page. I put a lot of work into it. Love doing it. It's great. Just follow because you'll be notified next time I go live. And tomorrow night, you're going to want to watch what I have and see what I have. I've got a band called Serpent Lord. I'm not into like the real demonic metal stuff. And I don't know if they're completely into that, but these guys are old school, like Black Sabbath old school, but really tight, really good. They're from Greece. They were on tour, and I think they were backing up, was it KK Dowling from Judas Priest? He was on a tour, and they're backing him up. Anyway, they go on tours. They're like big time down there in Greece. They crank. They fill the room full of wild and crazy metalheads. So I'm interviewing the bass player live from Greece. It's going to be about, 4 in the morning. It's going to be 9 o'clock here, at like 4 in the morning there. It's like 6 hours or something. So he's open to it. So I'm like, great. I talked to their manager. So that's cool. And then the next night I've got Mr. Insurance, Chris Chappelle. I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's a night I'm going to take off, Dave. No, you want to stay tuned for this. He makes insurance really, really interesting. He's an interesting young fellow. What do we have? Some people saying some things there. Happy birthday, Joanne. Yes, she had a birthday yesterday. Thank you, Kathy. Tom Lapolito, will they be setting up and playing in your studio? No, they won't be. They're in Greece. They're not even traveling. They're going to be home. But I'm going to show a video of them. I'm going to show some of their music. And they're amazing. They're really, really tight. And they are dark. These guys go dark. So anyway, enough of that. I'm just wasting time because I didn't prepare for Plays with Apps. Ooh, you saw what I did there, didn't you? All right, let's see. What are we going to do? Let's do this. Let's do Video Leap. How about Video Leap? And what I'm going to do, and I was thinking of this earlier, was I run an ad to promote the guest of the day. And in this case, it was, look at that. Let me open this up here so you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. So it's Rich Austin. Let me move him over. I'm going to move him over there. Cover the microphone, right? Do that. All right. So that's Rich Austin. I'm just moving my thumb along, just kind of scrubbing through the lines. And, oh, I'm sorry. That was the wrong one. That was the preview video. That wasn't the one either. It was, are you ready? There it is. There it is. So it's kind of tiny, but you get the point, right? So what it is just a bunch of layers. All right. See the canvas? I hit the canvas. There's the background. I mean, I can change that to any color I want, but I'm not going to. So this is, I tap on, see the Wine with Dave? I can move that around. So I have that in every week. I'm giving you a little behind the scenes. This is like a template that I have every single week. All I do is I grab their image in Photoshop. Hopefully they're on the far left or the far right. And I just drop them in. But it's not that easy because I tap it on. Let me see. Live tonight at 9 p.m. I always keep that. Is having. This always changes. Because, well, I lost it again. Because it's not always Rich Austin. Tomorrow night I'm going to have Serpent Lord on there. That's going to be a cool graphic. Look for it. And please share that, okay? Please. I pour my heart and soul into making the show the best it can be. Someone's texting me. So, yeah, I make the show the best it can be. So please help me out. I would really appreciate it if you help me out. Just share that link. And it's going to show up around 2, 3, maybe 4 o'clock during the day. Whenever you see it, you'll just see it. It'll look like Rich's. It'll be the bass player on the far right or the left. Just share it. But this is what I really wanted to share. So in this thing, right, let me turn this off. Blending, I'm going to turn it to normal. So this is what this is if I just play it. These are, isn't that cool? These are just like words and letters, which I thought was very fitting since Mr. Austin is all about words, all right? But then I have to hit overlay, and it's a little too dark, so I hit multiply, too dark, screen, perfect. And look at that. And I'll turn that off so you can see the big screen. I don't know if you can see that. It's going to be sideways, but you get the point. Where am I? Where's the play button? Yeah, see that? It's sideways, I get it, but you can see all that video of all those lettering, those little letters just floating out over his face. It's pretty cool. That's what you get when you download this app, Video Leap. It's crazy. I could put any kind of video on there. I mean, if I got rid of that and I went to filter, oh, I got to show you this because you can't see it. So I go down here to Mixer. Mixer is when I'm adding something to it. I go to stock. Look at all these things. Actually, I like using Pixabay. So I could do something like, oh, I don't know. This thing, I don't know what it is. But it downloads it right to there. And see that? Now I hit play. So it's like, it's just this dusty thing, right? So let me see what that would look like. Drag it over. And then I've got to enlarge it. I transform and fill it. So now it's filled. Now you can't see Rich. But now I go to blending. And now I can see Rich. See how easy that was? Go back there. I mean, if he was into psychedelic drugs, and maybe that would be a good background. But this is just showing you some of the animated layers that go into that app, Video Leap, that I talk about it a lot. So that's how I create all the ads for every single night of the week. Every single night. The only thing that changes, everything is positioned the same way. It might be on the left or the right, but it's pretty much the same. Two things change. The photo of the person, obviously, their name and the subtitle, or the super text, super heading. In this case, the wittiest man I know, Rich Austin, is having wine with Dave. And the second thing that changes is the animation. I'll put like an animation. So Heavy Metal, Serpent Lord, I mean, man, it's going to be blood dripping. It's going to be blood curdling. It's going to be cool. So check it out. Check it out. And I appreciate if you share that. So, what do we have here? Mike drove to Florida in a 68 Dodge van. Yeah, I think I remember that. I think I remember that story. He left for Key West. Hey, it's 10 o'clock. I got to get you kids to bed before you get clinophobia. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to watch the beginning of the episode where I have Did You Know? Did you know facts? All right, it's time for a joke. You guys ready for a joke? This, again, I'm not prepared because I took the weekend off. Tomorrow I will be prepared. Tonight I'm not. And I'm drinking wine. And my camera died. And everything's just gone to hell. So a police officer, he stops a minivan. It's full of elderly ladies, but it's being driven by an old man, an elderly gentleman. They were only going 25 miles an hour, stopping the midday traffic. It's really slow. The policeman asked the driver, "Hey, why are you going so slow?" Right? "Well, that's the speed limit, isn't it? There was a sign saying 25 and everything." The driver's trying to defend himself. The policeman, he just kind of chuckles and he goes, "No, sir, that's the number of the highway that you're on. You're on highway 25. That has nothing to do with the speed limit. Nothing to do with the speed limit." "Oh, so that's what it means," the elderly man says. He was looking shocked. Then the officer looks at the rest of the van, all the other old ladies in the van, and they're completely frozen and stiff with their eyes wide open, like just kind of trembling. So the officer asked the old gentleman, he goes, "So what's up with them? What's up with the old grannies? They're all stiff and frozen." And he goes, "Oh," the driver scratches his head. "You see, I just got off Highway 150. Highway 150. Tune in tomorrow night where my camera will be working. I'll make sure there's a battery in it. And I will be more prepared. I promise I will be more prepared. Boy, what a guest, huh? Rich Austin, talking about how to be prepared and communicate with words. Look at me. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You can take the boy out. Just can't get him to do a live show. Take care, everybody. 9 o'clock tomorrow.